Today we'll take a high-level look at the broad topic of network storage. There's a lot to this, so for more info, check out the links at the end of the video. Storage can be a tricky business. There are a ton of options and acronyms to navigate. Figuring out the right way to store and manage data can seem overwhelming, so let's go back to the basics and go from there. Take one of the workstations on your network. It has its own local storage, which is made up of a drive or drives that hold everything from applications to databases to individual application files. While local storage is imperative, there are some important things to consider, like what if the workstation runs out of disk space, or worse yet, the device ends up in a river? This is where direct attached storage, or DAS, comes in. If you've ever plugged in an external drive, you already know some of the benefits of direct attached storage. First of all, attached storage is easy to get up and running. Also, you can use attached storage for application files, so now local storage, which is usually faster, can be reserved for serving applications. Also, there are other great benefits. Attached storage can be used to back up devices so that it's easy to get up and running in case of a device failure. So at this point you may be thinking, hey, this direct attached storage thing is great, but wouldn't it be even cooler if instead of just connecting a single workstation or server, I could have a larger storage device to plug multiple machines into? Well, fortunately you can, and this is where direct attached storage becomes network attached storage. As the name implies, network attached storage is a storage device on your network that is solely responsible for storing and serving data. But instead of plugging the device directly into your servers or workstations, you simply add it to your network, map your devices to it, and you're good to go. So now you may be thinking, wait a minute, I already have a server that handles file storage on my network. Isn't this the same thing? Yes, and no. You can definitely configure a server for file sharing, but that same server is probably also doing other jobs. The NAS device, on the other hand, does nothing but store and deliver data files. You can simply access it via a web browser to configure and manage it. This means your server isn't sucking up bandwidth, and can stick to running applications more quickly and efficiently. A NAS device has all the same great benefits of attached storage and then some. For instance, it becomes much easier to share files between users, even if they're on completely different platforms. It also makes it easier for a sysadmin, such as yourself, to ensure that files are being protected and backed up. In addition to being affordable, NAS is also extremely scalable. If you run out of room, you can just add additional drives as you go. So let's talk more about servers, as they have some unique storage needs of their own. While DAS and NAS are great as file servers, they're not so hot with things like databases or application serving. For things like that, you want block-level storage, which is what you get with a Storage Area Network, or SAN. Let's take a look at our server rack. Imagine we have 3 servers, each has 5 terabytes of storage. Let's say the first is using just under 3 terabytes, the second is using around 1 terabyte, and our last server is almost maxed out at 4.5 terabytes. Now we have a problem. We're in dire need of storage on server 3, while we're sorely underutilizing the 6 available terabytes on servers 1 and 2. Well, ideally we would just have a big pool of storage capacity that we could segment however we needed it. Well, this, in effect, is exactly what a SAN does. A SAN is a collection of drives that essentially affords you one big pool of data that you can segment using a device called a SAN controller. These blocks are then linked back to the servers that recognize them as if they were no different from local drives, which means there's no limit to the type of data you can house on them. You could use a disk block for anything from a backup array to a file server or even a bootable disk image. So now, whether you require high-performance block I/O or simply need to share files, there's a storage system available to address all of your needs.